Give us anybody just been kind of like kind of going through the motions, kind of lazy, kind of,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Yes, it's we're heading in you we're heading into probably one of the more emotional release and cleansing periods that we're going to have in 2021. And it's just like the lull. It's like, you know, um, I'm appreciative for what is coming. I'm also appreciative for these lulls that come, and I've learned not to beat myself up too much when I don't get done as much as I have designed to do. I know if I do just one thing every day, it's still more than what was necessary. So, anybody else want to share anything about their energy past week, especially past 2 days?
Mine has been up.
Absolutely, that's a good thing.
And I've also have felt another energy in my sphere, in my atmosphere, very, very strongly. Not quite sure. It,
Have you identified it, or is it
no, but
still
it's a
coming?
loving energy. Don't get me wrong, but
Uh huh.
it's almost it's a presence like it's familiar, but it's not.
Okay. Okay. Good. 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 You know, we have a couple of you on the call that have just recently relocated. How's all of that coming for both of you as far as settling in, energy shifts, um, things of that nature?
Getting my space prepared. It's beautiful here. I'm in the center.
Well, of course you are. We can't make this up. Of course you're in the center. Everywhere you go, you're in the center. That's what you signed up for.
Mm.
So good, good. I'm glad that everything is working out. Everything good with your car? Everything is fine?
Yes, I had my brakes looked at today. They're fine. Everything is fine. Yeah, I went to a cacao ceremony.
All right.
It was absolutely wonderful, and I felt a lot of attraction coming my way.
Oh, of course. Of course.
And
Yeah.
I have people waiting on me to get my space ready so that they can come.
Absolutely.
So,
If you build it, they will come. When
yeah.
you build it, they will come. When you build it, they will come. That was in a movie, Field of Dreams, and it wasn't. They made it on a corny little baseball movie, but the concept is actually real. You know,
Mm,
you put the retreat together, you make the space available, and the people who are on their way will be on their way, and they
yes.
will show up. Yes, they will. How's my other recently relocated member? How are you?
I'm pretty good. Everything's been pretty good for the most part. I've been slowly allowing myself to get everything together. I've been having trouble sleeping though. Like, I can't, for some reason, sleep an entire night. I haven't the entire time I've been here. I wake up
Mhm.
at like during witching hours, like 3, 4, 5,
Right.
12. For whatever reason, I'm just up.
I got
Um,
you.
and it makes me kind of drag at certain points throughout the day.
Hmm. Well,
But
you have to give your body and your spirit a chance to. You got to understand. You just left a real chaotic vibration and frequency,
Mm,
mhm,
and you relocated, and the vibration and frequency first of the house that you're in is totally different, and your frequency is settling in. You didn't change states. I mean, a whole lot didn't happen. So yeah, and you're in different time zone than what you had just started getting used to. So
right.
yeah, I can see. Just don't be too hard on yourself and get as much rest as you can, and be ready for a very very powerful release and launch session on this new moon on Monday.
Okay.
Well, good. All right. Well, we're gonna run on. Last time we was here, we talked about the physical self and I coulda, I shoulda, I woulda, I am. And today, today's keyword in physical self, the accountability and responsibility of your entire physical existence is consider. Consider where, why, and how, and this you ask yourself this: where, why, and how I am currently slash previously physically living.
Mm,
Um, uh, I, I took the time to write down everywhere that I have lived uh, since I've been born.
mm.
I want to ask us before I get to I'm gonna go through my list just to let you guys know where the hell I've been because I think it's important. But I want to ask everybody: anybody still living in the hometown where they was born?
Oh God, no.
Yes. Not
Okay,
kind of. I'm
but it's
close by.
different.
Yeah.
But you didn't come back. You didn't left and come back. So I'm talking about. I'm asking for folks. Okay, so all of us on here, we are all transplanted, and we have all. Okay, so where have you lived? And what I mean by lived, I mean where have you been long enough to where you received mail? I'm not talking about you just spent a weekend on somebody's couch somewhere here for a day or two. I'm talking about where you received mail and or slash paid rent.
Wow. You want us to name it?
Oh, well, I'm going to go through mine, but I want you guys to think about it. I want you guys to think because the where we I'm and think physically.
Mm.
We're thinking physically now, and today we're going to find out how the other selves, and we haven't gotten into the financial self and intellectual self yet, but the intellectual self and the financial self have a lot to do with where have you lived. Just remember that, okay? Where have you lived? Now, when I was born, of course, I was at my mother's, but I wasn't with my mother. My mother didn't have a place too long. For the most part, I was with my grandmother, Hattie Meitzenheimer. So from birth until, oh my gosh, when did it was after I had the car. So it was probably maybe 3 months after I graduated high school. I made it that long after I graduated high school to where I moved out and I moved to, there was this old, where I grew up in Tulare, California. It was a little Dust Bowl, little podunk farming country town. And at the time I grew up, there was only 14,000 people in the whole city. So I had a place back behind Taco Bell. It was the old rooming house, and I had lived there for 3 months. The, I had this job at a gas station. I was pumping gas. I was the attendant. Yeah, you pull in. I asked you if you wanted me to clean your windows and what kind of gas you wanted. Did you need oil? Yeah, that was one of the first jobs I had after I got like 18. That I could afford my own place. That lasted about 3 months. I found out that if you don't uh, pay your rent when you say you're gonna pay it, then they lock you out of your place. So that was my first experience with not paying the rent. Now let me go back a little bit. When I tell you that I was at my grandmother's house, from the time that I started working any job, I had to pay rent to her at my grandmother's house. So every check, I had to give her a portion of every paycheck I ever made, as long as I lived at her house. She didn't care how old I was, what job I had, how much money I made. She didn't give a damn. So she taught me the importance of paying rent. She got me started at about 11 or 12 years old. 3 months behind Taco Bell. Then I came back to my grandmother's house for about I made it through the end of that school year. So May, I was there going to COS at the time. About that time, we a couple of friends of ours in Tulare, we thought that we was gonna start an after hours speakeasy spot, and I moved in with my buddy on D Street, Darnell Sales, and we really thought we had something going on. I was running the gambling and the liquor, and Darnell was running the door and the music. We had live band, everything. We a gambling room. We was $2 a cup of beer. We just thought we was some real. I've been a young entrepreneur since way back. Way back. That lasted about. It was across the street from my aunt's house. So once my aunt found out that I was over there, she went and told my grandmother, and my grandmother put a kibosh to that. So in between bouncing between Darnell's and my grandmother, I went to Porterville College, and I played basketball. Made the basketball team over there in 1983 or 84. I don't remember the exact year. I'll look it up and give you the exact year. But I went and stayed with a friend of mine's brother. His name was Mr. Long, and I stayed there 5 months, paid rent there. After I left Porterville College, I went to my grandmother's house for 6 months. And from that point, I joined the United States Navy. So I was in San Diego and Yokosuka, Japan for 3 years. When I got out, I was in Treasure Island for 3 months. Normally it take you like 3 days to process out of the military. It took me 3 months because when I got out when I got processed out in Japan, I got processed out from the brig. See, I had an issue with some money that was owed to me and people wouldn't pay me. And, I don't kind of take kindly to people who owe me money. So I was kind of like beating up people and threatening, and I got thrown in the brig. So when I got out of the brig after serving 5.5 months, I went to the package store and I got me a bottle of scotch. And before I even got on the plane, I was drunk, and I had my file with me, and I lost the file somewhere between Yokosuka, Japan, and San Francisco, California, on the plane. I don't know how we lost it. I don't know how I lost it. So I had to stay on the base for 3 months until they recreated my file. From there, I went to Sacramento, California for 3 years. And in between the 3 years in Sacramento, I had a live-in caregiver position. I worked in the group home with these young men, and I stayed in Stockton for 3 months. Did some shenanigans in the 3 years in Sacramento. One time on the way back from Stockton, got pulled over by the highway patrol, had a warrant, had to go to the pokey again in Sacramento. Had to do, I don't know, maybe 2 months, 2.5 months. It was for, I always thought that me and the bank always had an issue with when I had a checking account. The bank always said I had less money in my account than I knew I had. So I always live like, as long as I have checks, I have money. So, me and the bank had a little issue, had to go to Sacramento's Crossbar Hotel for a couple months. And once I did that, I went to my grandmother's house again. This time I was only there 3 months. You see how I was getting shorter the times I'm staying at my grandmother's house, because my grandmother didn't care how old I was. She thought the same rules applied. Have your ass in this house by 11, no in and out. Don't be using my phone. You ain't bringing nobody in here. And whatever money you got, give me some of it. That's how I went at my grandmother's house every time. So plus, I was when I got to my grandmother's house from the Sacramento, Stockton, and the money shenanigans, I was at the tail end of a 3.5 year unsuccessful run with cocaine. So it was a pivot, and I pivoted. I didn't pivot into, a nice, soft, cushy bed. I didn't pivot into a nice, soft, a protected program or anything. I pivoted into downtown Los Angeles on Skid Row. That's where I pivoted to. I pivoted there for 7 months. 44 days of that 7 months was spent in the Los Angeles County Gray Bar Hotel. I was attempting to be a street side pharmaceutical representative in a hotel and gave some illicit substance to an undercover police officer who I thought was a streetwalker. And yeah, I got busted and went to jail 44 days. They attempted to scare me with a plea of 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And I was like, no, no, no. Ended up getting drug diversion, and I had to complete a program and pay a fine. I had a year to do all of this. So I transitioned from there to Linwood, California for a year for the recovery. I moved to North Long Beach for 2 years. I was in Compton and Linwood for 3 months. I moved to Lakewood, California for a year, Norwalk, California for 2 years, back to Compton, back to Long Beach. Long Beach, California was the longest stretch I had as far as in one spot in one apartment was in Long Beach, California. That was for 8 years. After that, I moved to Fullerton for 3 months, La Mirada for 8 months, Los Angeles for 2 months, Compton again for a few months, Paris, California for a year, back to Compton to Hayward, California for 8 months. From Hayward, California here to Las Vegas for about a year, then to Temecula for 2 months, and then Tulare, California again for 2 months, and then back to Temecula for about a week, and then bam, back to Las Vegas. That's 32 places that I have lived. That's the where. That's the where. As you guys can see from the where, I don't have an issue with moving around. I'm not beholding to any one place. I'm not sentimental about nowhere. I'm grateful for where I am currently, and that's how I think about things. That's the where. Now, I'm going to get into the whys of a few of these. I got into why I had to leave my own place behind Taco Bell because I didn't pay the rent. I didn't get into why I had to go, why I landed on Skid Row and pivoted after 3 months in my grandmother's house because she was tired of my bullshit. That's why. And she put everything I had outside the door and handed me a sandwich and said, "Get out of here. Come back when you are in your right mind." That's why I landed on Skid Row for 7 months. Why I landed in recovery? Well, I got out of jail, and it was part of the condition of jail to make sure I didn't have it on my record. Had I had the charge on my record that was pending, I would have never done any of the things I did in corporate America, never advanced in any of the ways that I did advance. I just wouldn't even have the opportunity. So, yeah, there's some unsuccessful relationships. Those are some of the whys. Errors in judgment, some of the whys. Anybody got a list like me? Anybody on their way to building a list like me?
I got a long list.
I definitely have a list.
You understand the whys, right?
I've
Yep.
had it since I was little.
I've lived a lot of places.
Sometimes you leave for your sanity.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've said this many times, and I get the same reaction, especially when I say it to a group. If you are living somewhere that is oppressive, that is toxic, that is unhealthy, move. Oh, it's not that easy. Yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm. You just get up and go.
You just go. You just go. if your health depended upon it, would you be concerned about, oh, I got all this stuff? If your doctor, the one you trust, told you that if you do not move, you'll be dead in a week, would you be sitting there talking about, oh my gosh, I got to get a truck and all this and I wonder who's going to help me pack it? Would you be thinking about that, or would you be moving your arse?
The second one.
He tell me if I don't move in a week, I'm gone. I'm bouncing from his office. I might not even go back. I might go grab my computer and some underwear and be out. The whys are more important. It don't matter how many of these places I didn't listen. I didn't list any of the times when I was shelter challenged. I'll never say I was homeless, because as long as I'm alive, I'm a soul being and I got a home inside of here. So I'm never homeless, but I've been shelter challenged. And every time wasn't because of a bad decision. Twice was because of a bad decision, but I've been shelter challenged by choice a couple of times. And it was rather lovely. I spent a rather lovely 6 months camping out and living at the American River in Sacramento, California. Sure did. It was a eye-opening experience, man. So, but I knew the why. I knew the why. It was also at the beginning of my first Saturn return. So I get it too. I get it. And I know a pivot came at the end of that Saturn return. The beginning of it, I stepped away from a situation, a job, a relationship that everybody was saying, oh my God, you just have it perfect. No, I don't. No, I don't. If you could be inside of me, you would know that this is not perfect. This is the most imperfect, because I was forcing myself to get in that I'm a square peg, and I was forcing myself to get in that small ass round hole of society that society had deemed, these are the things you have to do in order to be considered a grown ass man. Got a job, you this, you're in a relationship with one woman, and all of this stuff, and your job is honest, and all of that stuff. And at the soul core level, all of that didn't really appeal to me. I was never really good at just relinquishing my freedom to anybody. That's why I didn't finish my full enlistment in the military. I wasn't good at it. And once I got there and I knew I couldn't go, I was doing everything I could to express my freedom and push the envelope. But you can't push the envelope in the United States military. Yeah, they got clear, concise rules and regulations, and you go over those rules and regulations, then they got a place for you. And I ended up in that place for me. The whys. Why did I go to the Navy? Why didn't I stay and finish one more semester? I would have had enough credits for a bachelor's degree. Why did I not do that? What was my motivation? What chased me to something? We're somebody famous once said, we either always running from something in the middle of it or running through it. We're in the beginning, middle, or end of something. Our life is just full of that repetitive cycle. We're starting something in the middle of it or we're ending it, and it's just vicious. What are some of the reasons why we've moved? It doesn't matter the wheres. What are some of the reasons why? You ever get somewhere and it was a Big Mac and a large fry when you ordered it, but when you got there, it was a bean burrito and a glass of water? Mm-hmm. Somebody promised you this and this and this, or you didn't got hooked up with the representative, and then you get pulled in, and then the mask come off, and you be like, oh, why? You don't be thinking about where you are at that moment. the first thing you be asking yourself is why?
Mm,
Why? So where have you lived? Why have we lived where we lived?
mhm. Um, yeah.
Anybody want to
I
interject anything? Anybody want to
yeah.
say something?
Usually, when I moved to a place, it was for someone else, whether it was my child to give him the experience of going to a school for the deaf, whether it's because I got married and moved to a place, um, or maybe the significant other at that time was going to school in that place, so there I went. This is the first time that I've moved to a place for me.
And don't it feel good?
Oh man, it feels wonderful.
Go ahead. I know you got something to chime in with this one, Honeybee. Go ahead.
Um, I grew up in a military family, so I was a military brat for the beginning stages of my life, but afterwards, like in my adulthood, I was taking care of my mother the majority of my 20s until she passed away. And that was a really challenging experience. So I would move out there to take care of her, and then I would keep running into issues with her. I don't know if any of y'all ever like took care of an elderly person that is dealing with something as serious as cancer. And then it's like addictions on top of the cancer growth, and it leads to a lot of anger. So I couldn't deal with the abuse that was coming with it, but I also couldn't deal with her going through it on her own. So I was like back and forth. Should I stay or should I go? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back. So
Mm.
that was my why a lot of times.
And you see not only did that put a physical toil on you, but it affected you mentally and emotionally as well.
Mm.
All that.
You know, so you were dealing with all three of themselves, and they're all in conflict, and they're all attempting to get your attention. Probably had
Mm-hmm.
probably had physical things going on with your body, and you was like, "What's? I ain't never had this happen yet." Your body was like, "Hey, girl, hey, slow down."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually because I'm really empathic, a lot of times when she would deal with something, like there were instances where she could taste certain things, like she would taste metal in her mouth,
Mm-hmm.
and she couldn't really explain the taste that she was tasting, and I could taste it too, and I knew exactly what it was. But whenever she would
Absolutely.
get like a new symptom, I would get that. So I had to, like, I would feel it for like a
Absolutely.
couple minutes, and then it would go away. And so I intuitively knew what she was dealing with, and I couldn't always explain it to her. Although I think she knew. Um, a lot of her actions showed that she knew, but that was a major challenge I was dealing with as well, and I
Absolutely.
didn't know how to shield myself from it.
Well, we get ourselves in these situations. Some we take on ourselves, some are given to us. And, we never really know the full extent of it until we get there. And because of your essence, honeybee, because of your nature, and because of just how you're made up, you're a nurturer and a caregiver. Uh, uh, and you will neglect yourself for the sake of someone else, especially if they're of bad health or of a lesser station than you. So you really have to be careful in the area of attachments, and you have to be really clear in the area of setting boundaries.
I'm
It's
working on it. I'm doing
very
better.
clear. I know you are. I'm not chastising you. I'm just
I know.
and again, the why we live currently or how we previously have lived is just is much more important than the where. The where we live is normally determined by that financial self. Whatever that financial self can afford is pretty much that's going to be the where. Or if it's a particular city or particular neighborhood, the that that is really secondary to the why, because it's the why that motivates us to make the move. It's the why, you could be living in a drug infested area and you have little kids, and you want your children in a safer environment. So that could be your why for moving. You want to move, maybe you don't like the quality of the school that your kids are going to. That could be a reason why you move. You, maybe you're empty nester now, and the kids is gone and the house is too big and you ready to downsize, and that will be the reason why you move. All manner of reasons why you move. Your income could change, you up or down, and that could be the reason why you move. You know, it just depends. It just depends. So be be mindful of the why. Can take into consideration your why first, then your where. Now, I really want to talk about this other part of this, because where we live, people get people judge and put you in a class or put you in a group because of where you live. Why you live are personal reasons that a lot of people outside of yourself really have really never really know, unless you just open up to somebody and tell them this. Some issues they do know, like about the schooling or the safety issues, but some issues they may not know about. What I want to talk about now is how you live currently. How are you living a mastered self lifestyle? Are you living a high flying disc lifestyle? Are you living a high side lifestyle, or are you living low side? Are you in between? Do you float between high side, low side, high side, low side, high side? Do you get to the high side and stay up in here and then have a blip and then come back, blip, come back? That's kind of me. I'm mostly high side, and then I have a blip, blip, blip. I'm purposeful. I'm mindful of it. I have found out recently that I'm not as over certain things that as I thought I was,
Mm.
and that's okay. That's growth, because had the situation not presented itself, first I wouldn't have known that I'm still dealing with that.
Right.
And secondly, I'm grateful for the growth that in that area that has transpired, because a couple of years ago, and y'all would have been watching me getting pulled out of somewhere with some handcuffs on, because I would have just went there. I would have smacked first and then asked questions. I would have struck out first, and then I would say, "What'd you say?" After, while you on the floor and your teeth is coming out your mouth. Yeah, I would have hit you first, and then I would have asked you what's going on. So there has been growth. There has been growth in that, but it's the how I live now. First of all, I don't live thinking. I don't live in a state of fear. I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of nothing. I'm not afraid of none of the political stuff that they're talking about. I'm not afraid of my rights being taken away. I'm not afraid of my gun being taken away. I'm not afraid of none of that horse hockey that they talk about. I'm not afraid of none of that. I don't live in fear. I don't live in a state of lack or limitation. I believe that I am extremely and abundantly wealthy, and I
Yes.
live that way. I live an abundant and a wealthy lifestyle within my financial budget. Did y'all catch that part?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I am abundantly wealthy within my budget. And I don't care what society deems as wealth and abundance. Society can eat 2 fresh bags of you know what, as far as I'm concerned. I am abundantly wealthy. See, I don't have when I do affirmations about, I don't even do affirmations about money because money is an energy. It's an energy.
Yes.
And it's a cycle to money. And once you understand the energy of money and the cycle of money, cycles come in and cycles go out. Cycles go up and cycles go down. Cycles begin and cycles end. And once you understand that and get into a better frequency with your own cycle of money, then you'll never worry about a lack of it ever again.
Mm.
Ever again. I have found my lot. I took my grandfather's advice. He used to tell me all the time, Sonny, find your lot in life and live the best in it. That means find where you fit in the grand scheme of things and live the best in it. I found where I fit and I'm living good. Living real good. Whenever I want to eat me a USDA prime steak, I got a bunch of them in the freezer. Drive a vehicle that is commensurate to my stature. I live well within my financial budget.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I live. I don't go around looking for confrontations. I don't go around looking for fights. I don't go around looking for trouble. And I no longer affirm that if trouble comes to me, it stops. I let trouble walk past me all the time now.
Mm-hmm. You have to.
Mm-hmm.
I let fights just go on by all the time now, because it's more important to me to stay on my high flying disc, as a good friend used to always tell me. That's number one. Number two, I'm not going to do anything that's going to throw my liberty and my freedom in jeopardy.
Mm.
And if I go out hitting people with my fist, then there's a good chance that they're going to call the authorities. And the last time I checked, hitting somebody with my fist is assault. And the tenor and the temperature and how stuff is going on in society right now, I damn sure don't want the cops coming messing with me about some assault. For real. I'm just being real. So I don't go anywhere that type of vibe is taking place. I don't associate with people who live that type of lifestyle and ascribe to those things. And I do not give my energy to any of those things. So I'm good. That's how I live. I stay to myself. Last year when COVID first hit and they talked about social distancing, stay 6 feet away from folks. I've been social distancing since 2012.
Right.
I've been getting away from people since 2012. I don't want to be around a bunch of people. I'm good. Yeah. So that's how I live. I don't purposefully go out of my way to screw over anybody. I don't purposely go out of my way to gouge anybody. What I offer as far as services to anybody who inquires about services, I give them at a fair and equitable price. I don't gouge you or nothing like that. I don't have to. But that's how I live. There have been times that I've lived when I was in Compton. I had to live how the nature of Compton was. Anybody seen any of the videos from the late 80s, early 90s? Yeah, that's just it. They cleaned it up for the video.
Mm-hmm.
They cleaned it up for the video. Yeah. So and again, I haven't always earned money according to what the law said was legal. So, when I was living that way, I had to live how I was living that way. And it was a whole different, that guy, the street side pharmaceutical representative, was damn sure different than the corporate guy.
Yeah.
Same mindset though. When I got to corporate, I found out that when I got to corporate, that the corporations was just the big drug dealers. They was the dudes they was the ones that I was getting the big packages from like corporations. I figured it out that there wasn't much difference between corporate America and the drug game. Not really that much of a difference as far as the politics and the inner workings. We be in these offices and have no clue what the CEO is up there negotiating and who he's negotiating with and where your products is coming from and who is manufacturing your stuff. We just be sitting in there and we be selling their stuff and collecting their money and answering their phones, and we have no clue who we are attached to.
Right.
None. How you live is how people are going to judge you. Most folks ain't going to know why. Most people didn't know why I was selling dope. I did. That wasn't something that I was really willing to express to people. You know what I mean? How I was living was how I was judged. How you're living now is how you're judged. You okay with the judgment? It's not coming from me or from yourself. It's coming from folks outside. Think about what somebody outside of you, what do they see when it's concerning how you live? Are you always well put together? Are you always seemingly with everything going on right, never rushed, never in a hurry, never frazzled, always like right on time? Or is your life chaotic and frazzled and messy? And what's the inside of your car look like? Tell me a lot about your life. How we live is what people judge us by. Right or wrong, fair or unfair, good or bad. How we live. How are we living? How are we living? You would be all right to if you found out today that for the past 30 days there's been a hidden camera in your house. Would you be okay?
No, I'm gonna be mad because it's a hidden camera in my house.
Okay, honey B, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I'm being real. I'm being real. Look, I used to say this all the time, especially when I was slinging Kool-Aid at them churches, that show me your cable bill, and that'll show me what type of movies and stuff you rent. Show me your bill, your pay-per-view bill. Show me your bank statement. That'll let me know where you spend your money at. Show me what you do behind the closed door when you don't think nobody else is at home.
Good teaching.
You got a hidden camera that's been following you for 30 days. You okay for them to play the tape, or you want to edit it first? I'm cool. They can play my tape. How we live is how people judge us. My list is pretty long, and it ain't done, because I know there's a few places that I'm gonna live, I'm gonna get mail, and I'm gonna pay rent at or own before it's all said and done. So the whys for me are still yet to be developed. The where, I've long taken my hands off of destinations and outcomes. I'm a person that I do things, I get assignments, I get cosmic and divine assignments. And because of that, I have to go where I am sent. So I never worry about the destination. I just go where I'm told to go. And it's always good. Ultimately, always good. So
I find that a lot of my moves have been fruitful. They have been good. even though some of the relationships were karmic, but the
Absolutely.
experiences that were created were very good
Absolutely.
because I
Absolutely.
stayed in integrity.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Look, you guys know I'm going to say this, that I'm the sum total of everything I've done since I split my mama's Y all the way up until this very moment, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the unexpected.
Mm,
And regardless of what anybody who could have seen every day of my life up until now would say, I wouldn't change one thing.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
I
wouldn't.
agree with
I
that.
wouldn't. Me and my roommate, we were talking a few weeks ago, and this question comes in many forms. If you can know what you know now, what age would you go back to? And folks be like 21, 18, da, da, da. We both looked at each other and we were like, no, I think I would go to like 35, maybe 37. Yeah,
Mm,
forget them 20s, man. I'm
mm,
yeah, even knowing what I know now, I wouldn't want to go through my 20s again. No, I'm good. I'm cool with that one. Um, but yes, everything that all of the bad, and good and bad is relative.
mm,
So good and bad are the extreme opposites of something in the middle called behavior. And good behavior is relative, just like bad behavior
mm,
is relative. It's all about how you perceive it.
mm.
So I would say that all of the situations that I found myself in haven't necessarily been bad. Most of them have been unexpected. Every one of them have been a lesson. I never lose. I win or I learn and grow. There's no losses. I don't take any losses. I either win or I learn and grow. So, I'm grateful for who I am now. I don't kick myself in the teeth for why didn't I do this when I was in my 20s? Well, I wasn't ready for it. Why not do it in 30? I wasn't ready then. And I wasn't ready then. I'm ready now, and I'm grateful for now, and I'm staying here in the now. And had it not been for all of that, I wouldn't be the fullness of who I am today. And I'm grateful for my fullness. So I want everybody to really, really, really focus in on your whys, why you live, where and how, where you live, and then your how you are living where you currently are at. How you're living tells a lot about the condition and frequency of your soul. It does. How your soul vibrates, that's how your whole place vibrates. And if you don't think there's vibration and everything, I just got a new comforter, and and the color of the comforter, when I put it on the bed, it just changed the whole vibration of the room. Whole vibration changed. It's a darker color than the comforter that I had, but the room is lighter. If you can understand what I mean.
Mhm.
The room, the vibration and the frequency is lighter. The actual lighting is lighter, and the comforter is darker.
That's interesting that you say that because it's the exact same thing for me.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
exactly the same.
So there's power in frequency, there's power in vibration, power in colors, and there's power in the change. Embrace that change. Embrace it. I'm going to get us prepared for the full moon. If you guys give me one quick second, I'm going to get the exact time that we will be uh, gathering for the full moon on Monday. Just wait real quick. I got to change something here. Today is the 24th all day long, right? 24th, and we want to go 5th, 27th. Yeah. So this full moon is going to be in Scorpio. Scorpio energy is intense. For those that Lemons, are you still on the call?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Lemons, will you, while I'm getting this together, will you talk to us about Scorpio energies and what the coming full moon is gonna have for us as I'm looking for the exact time?
Oh wow.
I know I put you
Well,
on the spot, didn't I?
yeah, you did, but
Well,
it's okay. It's okay. One of the biggest things I was looking at recently was this Mars and Cancer transit that just started, and that's going trine with this Scorpio moon, and how like it is gonna be like us having the new nodal change where that's gonna start happening. I think next winter the nodes will change, or the
yeah,
year winter after. And it's like this is like to me, I see this as like a precursor of things we're gonna be working on during that nodal change
yes,
and what's to happen. And this is like the initiation of that emotional surge that's gonna come along with it. Because we are emotionally attached to the things that we do, but not in the physical sense mostly. It's more like a sense you're using your higher senses to guide you in what
absolutely,
direction you should be going and how to keep
yes,
balance. And it's because Scorpio is evolved, it is a social sign, so it does have to do with, you know, some form of attachment there of other, but at the same time, Taurus is about the self. So again, I mean, we're all very familiar with being balanced on the inside as well as the outside. But then I feel like because it's a Scorpio full moon, which is not the best placement for the moon, but
no,
when you release in that type of a way, that transformation is like all of that is gone and it's never coming back. So you get to move on, but not all transformation is easy.
Right.
Not all, especially when it's coming from a place that's hidden or like a deep subconscious, a psychological thing that you've always lived with that you have never felt you could truly express to somebody and they actually value it the way that you do. And the emotions that come behind that is like you being completely open and vulnerable to something you've never felt before. And getting through that experience can be kind of harsh, but at the same time, we got a lot of Taurus energy going on. So we could still get our grounding, we could still get our footing and move through. But, this is just the beginning of something way, way bigger. And we don't even
absolutely,
peak of what's
absolutely. I would
even
suggest.
that heavy.
Thank, thank you, Lemons. I really, really appreciate it. And I would suggest to everybody on this call and let your friends know and anybody else you're connected to. Right now is the time to let all of that emotional BS go. When it bubbles up and boils up, or even if it doesn't bubble up, you know the things that you're holding on to emotionally.
Right.
You know the hurts that you're holding on to, the slights, all of that. Get Write them if you have to, in order to self-acknowledge these once and for all. Write them all down on the paper, and then on this full moon, affirm to release them, and then burn them and let them go. This is for your freedom. Like she said, what's to come in the winter? Oh, you better let this junk go now.
I have a question for you.
Absolutely.
What would you recommend for people that have like hidden like things they need to work on that they have yet to realize about themselves? They know it's something, but they can't really pinpoint what it is, and they want to release whatever that energy is. Like, what would you recommend for that?
I would recommend the breathing exercise that we do at the beginning of every one of these calls. I would recommend that you extend that breathing exercise out instead of starting with 3 breaths and then do 5 and then 7. Start with 10 and 15 and 20 and go into a full meditation. Prior to you going into the meditation, write down on a piece of paper and hold this paper in your hands as you begin to do your breathing, and write down on a piece of paper, reveal all of the hidden things I need to resolve. And just do that for Do that. It's going to take you about 3.5, maybe 4 days of repetition in this meditation. But you do that for 3.5 days, and it will begin to unveil to you in your sleep sequence, in your dreams. You'll begin to, those things that are hidden from you or obscured by something else that is positive in your life, they'll come they'll come up in front of you, and you'll be able to deal with them and resolve them.
It's funny you said that because I was just about to say something about the dream. Because I'll always say something 3 times before I go to sleep, so I can have to direct where I want my energy to be looking at while I'm sleeping. So I end up
Absolutely. Absolutely. You have the power to control what happens in your sleep sequence. You have the power to control it every night. I say what I say. So my boys, Stoth and Metatron, show up, and it's me and them too, and we hang out for however long I'm sleeping. And they're instructing, and we're collaborating, and a lot of times we just shooting the shit, just talking, because it's all me. It's me in different forms and from different timelines. It's me. So I'm having a conversation with my ascended master self and my angelic self and my higher self. That's pretty cool sleep sequence. No more nightmares. No more. Once I locked into them and locked into that pattern, I could sleep 8 hours straight, no problem. I don't have to take no type of narcotic, no type of Ambien, no type of nothing. I told y'all what I had to take on the last show, what I had to take, just sleep. Yeah, once I locked into them, which is me, once I locked into them, us, yeah, I had no problem sleeping. None. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. So what we need to do, what you need to do is you control what goes on in your dream. You ever notice that you ain't never saw yourself die in your own dream? Why? I wonder why that is. Because you control your dream, man. Nobody's gonna watch themselves die. Now you probably seen yourself get beat up or get hit or get chased and all of that, but you never seen yourself die. Anybody seen themselves die in a dream? I if they have, I would love to talk to you. Damn sure love to talk to you. You can control your dreams just by saying some affirmations right before you go to bed. Do anybody meditate before they go to bed? Anybody breathe before they go to bed? Or you just turn off the TV or turn off a computer and just hop right on in there? Or is there a process that you go through?
I meditate. I meditate
Absolutely.
sometimes.
Absolutely.
Breathe, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Yes,
what we want to
most
do,
definitely.
we want to um, take today, take tomorrow, and get in up close and personal in the stank part of your emotions, the stanky part. Not the emotions that are cool, not that when you're exuberant and you're really happy for somebody and you want to give them a hug and that opera kiss where I call us all fake. Not that part. I'm talking about the stank part of your emotions where you mad, where you disappointed, where you feel slighted, rejected, disrespected.
Mhm. Well, I tell you something interesting. I've been doing what I call trim the fat,
Hey, yeah.
meaning if you got stank energy, you got dark energy, I'm just trimming all of that. I'm letting all that go. I don't want nobody around me who's not living in integrity, who's not character, who all that energy. I'm just trimming the fat. I've been
Absolutely.
deleting, blocking, and getting rid of it.
Absolutely. Good. Good. I look when the calendar turns each month, I read my monthly horoscopes. I got a couple of things that I read monthly. And then there's some things that are weekly. But there's also an exercise I do when the calendar swings over every month too. And between the two networks that I have on social media, I have a little more than 10,000 people in both networks combined. And every 30 days I go through there and I'm deleting and closing and unfriending, and that's every 30 days. I purge if it's not, if it doesn't align with and serve my highest good, and it doesn't positively affect my material existence, I don't have time for it.
I have another question, kind of piggybacking off of, I didn't see who made the comment about trimming the fat, but it's kind of in conjunction with that statement.
Mhm.
That was me, Dr.
That was Dr. Atia.
Okay. I've been trimming, but also I've noticed, like, especially in the past week alone, literally about 7 people from my past, friends, exes, whoever, like just people from the past have been reaching out. So it's more of a question for like you or Lemons, the astrologers on the call. Is there a particular reason why at this time, does it have something to do with the planets or the moon or something, why people are reaching out right now?
Well, Venus done cozied up in Taurus, honey. And yeah, if you are
With Uranus
anybody,
there,
huh?
the main with Uranus there,
With Uranus there, right.
that's Bay.
Yeah,
That's
the same day. Right. So if you, I'm talking to all of us here, if any of us here has been anyone's the one that got away, guess what? They're gonna be contacting you right now. It don't matter that ain't nothing in retrograde. I'm serious.
Right, because
You know,
Mercury ain't even in shadow yet. Mercury
ain't even in the shadow yet. They ain't even
Pluto
started
about to
yet.
go retrograde, but still.
Yeah, they ain't even got started yet. This look, Venus, Uranus, Taurus. You know, Venus is at home in Taurus.
Mm-hmm.
And Taurus, that's all they want to do is love up something.
My North Node is in Taurus in the first house.
Yeah, this love up something. So yeah.
I'm feeling this presence. I'm telling you, it is so strong. I've been feeling it for like a week. This presence, this whoever this is, it's so strong.
Mhm.
And I don't know if it's the one I'm waiting on, but I feel it so strongly.
You can feel it. You can feel it right now. You really, really can. The those that have a relationship going on right now that may be on this call, or the bonds have tightened up. Those that we are the ones that got away. You getting calls and texts and emails from them. And if you, I'm talking to us on this line, if you look at yourself, have somebody that if you got one that got away, you calling them, you texting them, you reaching out talking about, hey, I'm just checking on you to see how you doing. No, you ain't. You ain't checking. You fishing. That's what you're doing. Yeah, it's that time right now. It's that time. Plus, we're getting ready to head into in about another month and a half. We're heading into eclipse season and then soulmate season. So soulmate season is on its way.
That's the one I'm waiting on. Yeah, Patrice.
Yeah,
Yeah, when is that?
Soulmate season is on its way. I can't give you the exact coordinates right now, but yeah, sometime middle June, first week of July till about Labor Day. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So be prepared for that, everyone.
And those double Aquarius moons coming up.
Yes. yes. Oh, it's going to get lit around here, boy. It's getting ready to get lit. Socially, politically and relationship wise. It's gonna be lit. Yeah, America finna get lit. For real, for real. Just stick back, just stick around and watch as the dynamics change and the paradigm shifts, especially this week coming. Especially this week. There's gonna be a fallout after this full moon in Scorpio on Monday. There's gonna be a fallout. Guaranteed. 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 You're gonna see more
Everybody
especially,
following out.
especially Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. You're gonna see more outlandish stuff from these politicians. They're gonna be talking out the side of their neck, from the back of their neck, out the top of their head, and out the bottom of their feet. It's gonna be wild what's going to be coming out and what accusations and you did this and it's going to be, you think it's been crazy, just wait till
Gaslight season.
yeah, you just wait till starting tomorrow till about Thursday, all of next week. It's going to be gaslight. It's going to be on. I'm getting me some extra popcorn because I'm going to sit back and I'm going to have it on the loop. I'm going to be watching it and just laughing.
No, you are.
So we want to be thankful and grateful. I'm so grateful for everybody to show up today. Dr. Atia, you are the winner today of the consultation. Plus, I owe you a consultation anyway, so it kind of worked out. That kind of worked out really great. So we will talk offline and we will schedule our consultation. Jolene, I will send you out the Zoom link meeting for ours. I still want to confirm 11 o'clock my time, 12 o'clock your time tomorrow. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I will send that out to you. Give me about an hour or so after we get off of here. We'll do that. And then Dr. Atia, we can talk tomorrow or Monday.
Okay.
And then we can set up for you and I.
Wonderful.
Before we adjourn, anybody got any comments, concerns, complaints? Anybody just got anything you'd like to share?
Thank you. This is the first time I've been able to stay on the whole time. So
Absolutely. We will be live for the full moon on Monday. The full moon is at 8:31 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, which is 11:31 Eastern. So we will be on for the full moon. It will be no longer than 16. It'll be between 16 and 28 minutes.
okay.
We won't be on all day. We're gonna have a ritual, have some affirmations and a release, and then I'll send everybody outside to get the final part, which is the burn in the light of the moon. So it will only be 16 to 28 minutes long, the total time that we'll be together. So get into the stank part of your emotions and anything you're holding on to, any slight, any of those things that, and what I mean by what you're holding on to, if there's something that you can think about that happened to you that still makes you mad, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have something.
Yeah,
and it's regarding the young lady, Janet, that we spoke about.
Yeah,
She
I know.
broke up my crystal box.
I know. She's toxic. I told you she's toxic and a black magician. I told you that.
I'll deal with that though.
Yeah, but if it still makes you feel some type of way, now I'm talking about that.
It really doesn't. I'm gonna deal with it.
No. I'm saying this to everybody.
Oh,
I'm just, if folks don't understand what I mean by the stank part of your emotions, if there is an emotional situation, an emotional association, or an emotional endeavor that still can piss you off today, let it go. And that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about, writing them down and getting them ready. Huh? What'd you say, Jolene?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm telling my friend that
Oh, okay.
y'all don't hear me, but then I forgot to turn it off.
Yeah. So that's what we're talking about.
I
So
feel like I've
so
been kind of like prepping myself.
absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
prepping myself because I feel like I'm going through it in my own world
Mhm.
first before I experience it. Because I feel like that's the part, because I know I'm be so deeper on a connection to myself that
Absolutely.
work it will be stronger out under. I see it.
Absolutely.
I see it. And I don't have to say nothing because I'm not going through it probably. But I'm going to feel it.
Absolutely. But I guarantee you, those of us that take the time to do this and be ready for this full moon on Monday and go through that process of releasing, the best version and the most authentic version of yourself awaits you on the other side. And that's for real. That is for real. Your evolution and your ascension depends upon this. So be deliberate and intentional about all of this. Anybody else got anything they'd like to add?
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Thank you. Thank you for being ready when I called your name. Thank you for being ready. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. And just I do want to share this with everyone, like everyone on the call, especially Lemon, to just made that statement. Like, just be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself. Don't be too hard on yourself in the process. Um, it's not easy digging up your stankness and facing it head on, but those of us that are able to do it, like, we have a lot of beautiful days and everything else to look forward to in the process. So keep that in mind as you're dealing with it and be kind to you.
Most importantly, always be kind to yourself and be good to yourself. And if you get to anything in any part of the stanky part of you, and if it becomes overwhelming or just too much, just stop right there and back up, breathe, and affirm that no matter what this is, I am greater than this fear. And breathe again, and then push forward. Push forward. The best version of you and your most authentic self awaits you. It's right on the other side of this purging and of this releasing. Again, I'm thankful for everybody being here. This has been on the sevens with Pi Frisbee Metatron, where we awaken, ascend, and expand. I'm thankful. I'm grateful. We will be live at probably 8:08 p.m. Monday night. We will be live at 8:08 p.m. Monday night for the Scorpio full moon affirmations and release ritual. And then we'll be again live Tuesday at 4 o'clock with the next installment of On the Sevens with Pi Frisbee Metatron. I'm thankful and grateful for everyone that has been here, and I'm grateful for the entire audience, those on the Zoom portion of it, and those that picked this up on Facebook. Know that your master self awaits you, and it's only 88 steps away. Thank you much. Goodbye for now.
Bye.